Now, when most comedians actors make it to the big time, they buy themselves a big-time car. Rowan Atkinson, for instance, bought himself a McLaren F1. Steve Coogan got a Ferrari 355. Norman Wisdom, well, forget that one. Anyway, our guest tonight, when he made it to the big time, he bought one of these. Are we ready? Right, here we go. Look at that. It is a Vauxhall Cavalier Convertible. Plainly, this guy was devoted to making people laugh, even when he was on his way to the supermarket. Shall we meet him? Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Enfield. What in God's name possessed you to buy one of those?
It's absolutely lovely car, very reliable motor, the Cavalier. But I did feel like a bit of a, you know, because I'd sort of become slightly famous, and you find yourself, it's the only convertible I've had go up to the lights in the middle of London, because I've always lived in London, and you're sort of in the lights, and you've got the roof down, and there are people crossing the road in front of you, and they look in, and they see you, you, isn't that, oh, loads of money, and you're just stuck there because the light's red.
Oh, look. Here, there's a magazine, the convertible correspondence for the Vauxhall Cavalier Convertible Owners Club.
What a great
I know, you appeared in this, and this is my favourite bit, under famous owners. An occasional feature. They haven't been able to find anyone since who's got one, and you said it was better than a BMW.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. It's better than a BMW. What fine hair. Yes.
Which bit of it did you think was better than a BMW?
Well, I thought the price was better than a BMW.
Fair point.
Probably.
Interestingly, when you decided that it was time to part with the Vauxhall Cavalier Convertible, you were getting even more famous at the time. You went backwards and bought a Rover 200.
Yes, I did.
Again,
yeah.
What in God's name possessed you to do that?
Because most work in our industry is done in Soho, and there was a shop in Soho that sold Rovers. So I went in there and bought the Rover.
Forgive me, Soho, it's close to Park Lane, on which, from memory, there's Aston Martin, Jaguar, BMW, Lexus, McLaren, and so on, and so forth.
Right.
You could have gone to any one of those shops, not to the Rover one, and bought a Rover 200, which was...
But the Rover was in Soho, and they're about half a mile away, and, you know, then...
So is this why you swapped the Rover for a Metro?
Yeah, same place.
When you were going around to see Rowan Atkinson or whoever at the time, in your Cavalier or your Metro or your Rover, did they say, Harry, and take you on one side, maybe try to give you some advice?
No, but in fact it did actually happen once. I never talk about sort of seeing other, but I do have a abiding memory in my head of driving around to Rowan's house. It sounds very showbizy, but it's the only time it's ever happened. And Robbie Coltrane was there, and Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, and they all had nice cars. And I arrived in my Cavalier. And they were all outside. It was a nice day, and they were all talking about each other's cars. And they looked at me, and I looked at them. And no one ever mentioned it. Just no one ever mentioned it.
There's nothing you
No one ever mentioned the car. None of them, ever.